Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to put in your tape-in extensions at home. It's important to note the supplies that you're going to need. I suggest having your remover on hand just in case you mess up during your application. You're going to need some clips. These are extra, you don't have to have them, but they do help with flyaways. A comb, carving comb, some scissors, and some replacement tape in case anything goes wrong and you need to remove them. My daughter is going to be doing my application. Your extensions that you have, they're going to need to be prepped already, so no glue, no adhesive, they need to be clean, and your hair needs to be clean. So you start by making a clear and straight part, and then we always clip up our hair. I think that is the best option. And you make sure that you're about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from your hairline. When you put the tape down, you want to make sure that you're about 1/4 inch away from your scalp, because when you pull it over like that, you're going to want to be able to have a little bit of wiggle room with that. Otherwise, it's going to be way too tight and it's going to be bad for your scalp. So go ahead and take as much hair and pin it up into and press it down onto the tape extension as much as you can. A little tip and trick that we like to do is we make sure that we're not feeling any of the stickiness. And so that's how we know that there's enough hair on the tape. And you put the other sandwich on the other side of the tape, press that down, and then fold it back down. And we always seal it with a hot iron, and that way the adhesive sticks so much better together. And you just take section by section, part it off, make sure your partings are clean, flip the hair up, and put your hair on the adhesive again as much as you can. If there's anything that's kind of coming out of the adhesive, then go ahead and put that back down and don't have the tape on that hair. Take your other sandwich and line them up, making sure you press the corners, press everything down, flip it back over, and just seal it, tap, tap, tap with the hot iron.
Seamless blend. Oh, these are the roots. The roots. Wow. Okay, guys, I want you to ignore these roots because someone got a little lazy when they were doing a little root touch on their extensions. Okay. It's gonna blend in. It's for the seamless look, but you see this? Wow.
Okay.
Gorgina. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna show you a more step-by-step, in-depth explanation because it's one of the easier ones that I can don't have to pay extra attention to. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the tape on your extension. You're gonna get a straightener and go over it so it's stuck on there, and then you're gonna peel it off. She'll peel it off for me, and you want to make sure that you're parted straight like this for the area that you're doing, and have it clipped up with clips. And I'll be back after she's done taping it. Now that you have the tape off, you're gonna.
It's important. You don't want the extension close to your hairline because when you pull up your hair, you don't want that to be seen. So we're gonna go about right here, which is about 1.5 inches away from my hairline.
And you kind of just lay it on there, and you push down the sides first, and then you run it over, like that. So now that you have it pressed down, you're gonna do this, pick it up, and you're gonna slide under, and you're gonna separate it and flip it up. And then once you're here, before you clip it, you can get a toothpick comb, and you're gonna go and push it to pieces. First you're gonna push the pieces into it, and then you're gonna take whatever excess there is. And on your corners, you wanna kind of have a lot more because the corners like to flap around. You don't want that. You don't want them to flap around. Now, you're gonna take this piece, which looks just like the bottom, you have the tape off. You're gonna do this, like drape it over like a curtain over her face. And you're just gonna lay it on there, line it up with the previous extension. And you're gonna stretch it far so that it does not get like loose hairs. And you're gonna press it down and then flip it. And then now you're just gonna go over this with a straightener. So like clamp it down to really combine the tape together.
And if you want to try and do it yourself, the sides are always the easiest to do that. Just make sure that you're parting off, make sure it's clean. And again, 1.5 inches away from your hairline or wherever you are the thinnest, because whenever you pull your hair up in a ponytail, you just don't want to be able to see those sandwiches. I always root mine just to make them a little bit darker. So I am back. I like to have layers around my face, so I'm just going to do my face framing layers here. I'm also going to blend in and show you how to blend in the rest of your extensions the best way I can. This is my absolute favorite way to blend. This is where my first natural piece is. I'm just going to take it and start blending it this way. So I take, if you have something like this, I would take this side of it. And you're just going to hold it and kind of let it glide on the hair. Okay, so if you could see that, we're doing it all the way down to the bottom. Maybe a little bit more here. Okay. Gosh, this low light better blend in. It's gonna fade, so I'm not really worried about this. As soon as I wash it, this is all gonna like blend out. I'm just gonna do the same on this side. Just smooth it, let it blend. See how that just. Okay, so that's pretty good on each side. I don't like to do too much because I just like it to be subtle. So, okay. So see, all this is one length, and then here is my hair. It's about right here. Just a small section like that. I'm gonna do the same thing. Just gonna glide this down. I'm gonna take the section next to it. I'm not following a guide. I'm just blending and creating some long layers, because you don't want to have your natural hair that will come like to here or wherever it is and then just long. That is going, it's just not going to blend. It's not really not going to look the best. Okay. And then once you curl it, then it's really going to blend in a lot better. Go around as much as you can in the back. Yep. And I'm going to switch to the other side because I can't reach that in the back. Okay, and that's about like what's coming out, okay? And what I usually end up doing is I will go pretty conservative for my first trip around, and then I'm gonna curl my hair, and then I'll wash it again next week. And once that happens and like my extensions blend in better with my natural hair, like after the first wash, then I'm gonna be able to really see where I need to go back in and like add more layers to it. But I always like to be a little bit conservative in the beginning until I get a better idea of what it's gonna look like. And really, it's the same thing. Just holding it like this. And if you do see, like, if you see something that you just don't feel is blended very well, then that's why I love this comb, is because it's so easy. You just pick it up. If you had scissors and you were trying to do this, I feel like you could just take a massive chunk out of your hair. really, really, really easily. And this gives you a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more of a safety net, some security. And I'm pretty much liking all of this. The next thing that I like to do, I like to pull it all forward. This is my natural hair right here. If this layer for you is super thick, you could go ahead and kind of take the thinning shears and the texturizing shears and do that. That's what I did for a long time, and that's why my ends are super, super thin. So that's up to you. If you know you're always going to have extensions, then that's fine for you. But for me, I'm trying to get away from having to use extensions. So I'm not going to be texturizing my ends. What I am going to do is I'm going to create that same face framing, those same layers, just in this section here. So I'm going to take this, do the same thing in your bottom layer, just ever so slightly on each side. I don't want to create too many layers right there, but that gives it more of a blending effect right here. When I wash my hair, it is going to blend in better, and especially when I curl these pieces. So if you want to clean up your ends, feel like these ends need to be cleaned up a bit, so I'm going to take the scissors, and this is all I do. I'm going to comb this down, hold it tight, and then that's where I'm going to cut. Hold it. You can see this. I'm just gonna hold it and snip it. I like my ends to be pretty blunt like that. I don't like them to look like this. I might even take this much off, so I probably will. I'm gonna just take a little bit more just because I don't like how it gets thin when you do those layers. So it gets thin on the bottom, so just be careful with that. That's why you don't want to do too many layers. So there's that. My finger is my guide. I'm just going to carefully cut best I can. I never wear my hair straight, so it doesn't, for me, it doesn't matter about this, how straight it is, as long as it's pretty similar. Oh yeah, okay, so all of that, I think that's what I will just leave it with right now, and I can come back and show you after I get it curled, and you can see how much better it blends.